So hello, this is Mooncat Yoga. I'm Georgie and today we are going to focus on the center of our bodies, our core. So creating strength within our core, within our center. So when we practice these within our classes, it's really important to know that when we have a strong core, it really does help with a lot of our other postures. So a lot of our balances, our standing sequences, but it also will really help from a physical point of view to support your spine, your pelvis. So having a really nice, strong core is really important, not just in yoga, but outside of life as well. So we are going to be practicing some lovely, strongish sequences. However, as always, there are lots of options. So we will get started, but let's just start with focusing on our breath. And as always, listening to our bodies. So let's come to a seated position. So if Sukhasana doesn't feel comfortable for you today, then you can take Dandasana. Maybe it feels nice to sit on a block today, just to create a bit of space in those hips. And I invite you to close your eyes or soft focus as we begin by observing our breath. So noticing the inhales, the exhales, maybe lengthening, slowing that breath just a little. Perhaps trying to move the breath into the belly, maybe the rib cage, and if you're breathing into your collarbones, try and send that breath just down a little bit into the rib cage for a slightly fuller breath. Good. And then maybe it feels nice to place the hands on the heart and feel the breath beneath the hands. As we inhale, feel the hands rise. And as you exhale, feel your hands lower. So just practice that a few times. And then let's move the hands to the lower belly. So feeling the belly rise on an inhale and feel it soften. So just practice a few rounds of that, trying to breathe into your hands. And if your hands don't move, that's absolutely fine. By focusing on our breath, we're giving intention to our breathing. Lovely. And now move the hands to the side. Let's start by moving a little with our breath. So inhaling, sweeping the arms up, and exhale as we lower. So just continuing to your own breath. The inhale of the sweeping up and the exhale as we lower. So moving our breath, our movement. Perhaps moving the gaze up this time. If it doesn't feel comfortable on your neck, just maybe move your eyes up a little. So just to below the ceiling. A couple more as we inhale and exhale. Well done. A couple of lovely shoulder rolls one way and then the other way. So if you're on a block, let's remove the block. So we're going to start off with Sufi Circle. So we were practicing this in our July class and it's really nice. So we start off with a really small movement. So imagine there's a little pen or crayon in our tummy button. We're just going to draw a circle. So it's the smallest movement. So we just start by moving the torso, the abdominals, over the hips. It's the smallest movement. So just drawing that circle. And then we're just going to make the movement just slightly bigger, so the heart might start to come forwards. We might start to move back and a gentle tucking in of the chin. So it just becomes a slightly larger movement. And maybe you want to close your eyes here. It feels really nice maybe to close the eyes and just feel the practice and know where it feels really lovely to move. So let's start to bring in the shoulders as we make the move much larger. So the shoulders, the heart comes forwards, then we come back, arching through the spine, and then forwards again. Really moving in a way that feels nice for you. So as I always say, every Pitti Sufi cycle will look completely different. So just work with what feels nice for you. So we're going to rotate this the other way, but we're going to start large and work small. So nice large circles moving from the left to the right this time. Really working into the shoulders, the heart, the spine. And then make it just slightly smaller, so slightly less shoulders. The heart still comes forwards, still leaning back a little. And then returning to that really small movement where it's just the spine and the belly moving. So really engaging those lower abs. And then the tiniest circle before returning to center. Lovely. So let's take a little gentle twist before we come to lie on our back. So cupping the right knee with the left hand, we sweep the right hand behind. We inhale, lengthen, create that space in our that space in our spine before we come to twist. And returning to center, this time cupping the left knee with the right hand, the left hand comes behind. We inhale, lengthen, and we exhale, twist. Lovely. And returning to center, so let's make our way onto our backs. So let's begin by hugging those knees in, and let's just taking a lovely, gentle rock from side to side. Good. And then keeping the right knee where it is, we're going to lower the left knee to the left leg to the mat. So keeping the foot flexed, squeezing the right thigh towards the belly. Good. And then very slowly, we're just going to hover that left leg along the mat, but drawing upwards. So it's almost as though we're drawing those hip bones up towards the belly. So engage those lower abdominals, that lower part of the belly, really engaging, hovering that leg. Good. And then slowly drawing the left knee towards the belly. Let's take that to the other side. So this time squeezing the left thigh, we're going to straighten the right. So starting with the leg on the mat. And then we're going to inhale and hover. So drawing that thigh, those hip points up into the belly, engage the lower abs. Hovering, hovering. It's just literally, an inch off the mat, and then returning. So let's take that to the other side. This time keeping the leg hovering. Inhale and exhale, hover. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more to each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So this time we're going to do either the same round, so where we're going to straighten the opposite leg, or we're going to take a straight leg. So holding the back of the right thigh, we're going to straighten the left leg. And then inhale, switch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Use the breath. exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale, lovely. And then inhale, squeeze the thighs towards the belly. Maybe taking a little roll around the base of the spine. Good. Maybe it feels nice just to lift up, taking the nose towards the knees, taking a little roll. Good. Lovely. So we are going to hug the knees towards the belly, linking fingers behind the back of the head. So really keeping the lower back in contact with the mat. So we're going to start by inhaling. So really tucking that tailbone under and exhaling, taking the elbows towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to take tiny movements. We're going to take the legs out and in. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So it's a really small movement. Exhale, inhale. So keeping open in the throat. So we're lovely and open. We're not curling in. We're lifting up. So just really tiny movements. Really, really tiny. Good. So using the breath. Good. Lovely. So a few more. Very nice. Good. And returning the knees towards the belly, lowering the head. Let's hug those knees in from side to side. Well done. Very good. So now we're going to twist. So returning the feet to the mat. Here you have lots of options. So we're going to be twisting. So we're going to inhale and twist. And here you can either straighten the opposite leg, like this, inhaling and exhaling, twisting to the left. Or you can lift the legs, calves parallel, and you can twist into bicycle legs and twist. Or you can take scissor legs, as we did just now, where we twist, inhale and exhale. So taking whichever expression of the posture you wish to, so either feet to the mat, feet lifted, calves parallel, or legs straight in the air. So I'm going to take legs straight in the air, but for the next round I will take the legs with calves parallel. So linking fingers behind the back of the head. We inhale, we press the lower spine down, and we really curl that tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to ceiling, open through the throat. We inhale, engage navel to spine. Exhale, twisting left elbow to right thigh, and we straighten the left, pressing away, or pressing away if you're in one of the other options. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale, inhale to center, exhale lower, and hug those knees in. Well done. So one more round. So taking whichever expression you wish to. So either to the feet to the mat, feet lifted, calves parallel, or legs straight in the air. So I'm going to practice the middle option, the second option. So we start by inhaling, pressing lower spine down, curl the tailbone up, exhale, elbows to ceiling. Inhale, engaging, navel to spine, and exhale as we twist to the right, pressing away with the left foot. Inhale, center, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last round, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, And then exhale, lowering down once again. Squeeze those thighs to the belly, really hugging them in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Well done. Good. So returning the feet to the mat. Linking fingers behind the back of the head. As we inhale, we press the lower spine down, curl tailbone up, exhale, elbows to ceiling. Inhale, engage navel to spine, and then we're going to inhale, lift both toes, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Really pressing that lower spine into the mat. Exhale, 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then lowering the head. This time we're going to take reclining Baddha Konasana. So take those knees wide, soles of the feet together. Place the hands to the lower belly. Maybe we ought to give our bellies a little rub and say, well done, abdominals, for working so hard. So let's just take a moment here, rubbing our tummies. Maybe rocking from side to side in Baddha Konasana. Whatever feels nice for you, but really trying to soften the front of the body, really softening. Head down, maybe arms to the side now. Just relaxing the body. Good. Well done. So slowly drawing the knees together, we're going to lay along the mat. So stretching the arms above the head. We're going to really stretch the body. Full stretch. Good. Stretching. And we're going to take 3, inhale, tense and release. So inhale, we're going to tense every part of our body, tense. Oh, tensing our body, squeezing our toes, and then exhale, release. So inhale, tensing the body, squeezing, screwing up the face, exhale, release. 1 more. Inhale, scrunch up the body, tight, as tight as you can. And then exhale, release. So just come to lie on the mat. Maybe the legs are as wide as the mat, arms coming out to the side. If your back feels a little bit niggly today, maybe taking the knees bent, feet flat, take your knees a little bit wider and then just allow the knees to sink in towards each other. And then I invite you to close your eyes or soft focus. Breathing into the belly. Inside, secretly saying, well done to all those abdominal muscles. So trying to breathe into the belly as we did at the start. As you inhale, perhaps feeling the belly lift. And as you exhale, feel the belly soften. So continue breathing. So a couple more lovely deep breaths. Before slowly rolling onto one side, making your way up to a seated position with your hands in Anjali Mudra at the heart center. So then we take the palms to the third eye, that space between the eyebrows, just in a moment of gratitude for someone or something in your life. And then hands at heart center as we bow forward, sealing this lovely time spent together with a namaste. Namaste. So thank you for this small brief foray into our abdominals. Hopefully your abdominals will be feeling strong. So if you practice this a few times a week, then you'll be really starting to develop some nice, strong abdominals to really help with all the other postures and sequences that we have in our classes. So thank you again for joining me. And again, if you want to leave any comments or feedback, I'd love to read them. So thank you again.